"Father, who was my mother?" Ayesha's voice trembled, slicing through the quiet evening air. Her eyes, clouded with years of unspoken questions, desperately searched her father's face, hoping, just once, to find the truth. Amir Khan froze. His hands, which had been resting on the armrests of his favorite chair, tightened until his knuckles turned white. This was the moment he had dreaded for 20 long years. The day his daughter would finally ask the one question he could never bring himself to answer. Silence stretched between them, thick and heavy. A single tear escaped his eye, tracing a path through the wrinkles etched by time and worry. "Baba, please," Ayesha pleaded, her voice barely a whisper. "Don't stay silent anymore. I'm not a child. I hear people talking about their mothers, sharing memories, and I don't even have a name. I don't know who she was." Amir finally let out a long, shuddering breath. When he spoke, his voice was low, burdened with the weight of a secret he had carried for too long. "All right, Ayesha, you're right. You deserve to know." He paused, looking into her eyes. "But you have to promise me one thing. After you hear the truth, promise me you won't hate me." Ayesha nodded slowly, a lump forming in her throat. The rhythmic thumping of her own heartbeat was the only sound in the room as she waited for the story that would change her life forever. The story begins not here in New York, but 20 years ago. On a humid afternoon in Dhaka, the air was thick with the scent of rain and spices. Outside a small, unassuming mosque, a young woman stood, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs. Suddenly, a stern voice cut through her grief. "Girl, what are you doing here?" It was the imam of the mosque, his brow furrowed with disapproval. "Women like you shouldn't be entering this sacred place." The young woman lifted her face, her cheeks streaked with tears, but her eyes held a surprising fire. "Is this not Allah's house?" she asked softly, her voice clear despite her sorrow. "Isn't everyone welcome here, even those rejected by the world?" The imam was taken aback. Her words, so simple and yet so profound, disarmed his judgment. He saw not a sinner, but a soul in deep pain. There was a purity in her sadness that silenced any condemnation. After a moment, his expression softened. "Come with me, daughter," he said gently. "You can stay at my home for a while. Soon, the men will gather for prayer, and I don't want their eyes to fall upon you." Her name, he learned, was Layla Parker. She was an American woman who had journeyed all the way to Bangladesh, driven by a deep desire to study Islam and understand its beauty. It was there, in the vibrant heart of Dhaka, that she met a young teacher named Imran Khan. Imran was passionate, kind, and brilliant. He saw the world not as it was, but as it could be. And in Layla, he saw a kindred spirit. They fell in love, a love that was as powerful as it was forbidden. Their connection defied every wall society had built around them, walls of religion, culture, and language. But in that place, at that time, their love came with a heavy price. The community around them couldn't or wouldn't accept their union. Imran was shamed and humiliated in public. Layla, the foreign woman, was branded as impure, an outcast. But their love was stronger than the hate. They married quietly, in a small ceremony, with only Allah as their witness, their bond sealed in faith and devotion. A few months later, their secret joy grew. Layla discovered she was pregnant, but this happy news cast a dark shadow, as it was then that the true danger began. Fanatics, who saw their marriage as a betrayal, began to threaten Imran's life. They claimed he had brought shame upon his faith and his community. The whispers grew into open threats, and the danger became terrifyingly real. One night, consumed by fear for Layla and their unborn child, Imran made the most difficult, the most heart-wrenching decision of his life. He had to protect her. He had to send her away. He arranged for her to travel back to America, carrying their precious child in her womb, with a promise that he would find a way to join them later. But fate, it seems, is a cruel storyteller. The journey was fraught with peril. A violent storm descended upon the ship. A tragic accident occurred, and in the ensuing chaos, mother and child were separated. Layla survived the ordeal, but her newborn daughter, the baby she had carried and cherished, was lost to the waves, believed to be gone forever. But she wasn't. The tiny infant was found later, miraculously alive, by an immigrant couple who had just arrived in a new land, hoping for a new beginning. That couple was Amir Khan and his wife. They saw the baby as a gift from God, a blessing they hadn't dared to ask for. They took her in, loved her, and raised her as their very own daughter. Amir's voice finally broke. The dam of secrets he had held back for 2 decades burst, and tears streamed freely down his weathered cheeks. "Ayesha," he whispered, his voice cracking with emotion. That baby was you and your mother. Your real mother was Layla Parker." The world seemed to stop. Ayesha sat frozen, the words hanging in the air, refusing to make sense. Her breath caught in her throat. You never told me?" She finally managed to say, the question a mix of shock and hurt. "I was afraid," Amir choked out, his whole body trembling. "I was so afraid. Afraid that if you knew the truth, you would leave me. That you'd go searching for your blood, not for your home. And I couldn't bear to lose you." Ayesha didn't answer. She couldn't. She turned away from her father and stared out the window. Outside, fat, silent snowflakes were beginning to fall, blanketing the glittering New York skyline in a soft, white glow. The city that had always been her home suddenly felt like a foreign land. Later that night, unable to sleep, Ayesha found herself drawn to her father's old wooden trunk, a chest filled with relics from a past she never knew she had. Rummaging through old photographs and documents, her fingers brushed against a small, brittle envelope, yellowed with age. Scrawled across the front in faded ink were the words, "To my little girl, if ever you read this." With trembling hands, she opened it. Inside was a letter and a photograph. It showed a beautiful woman in a simple white dress standing by the Brooklyn Bridge. She was smiling, a gentle, knowing smile, as if she were looking right at Ayesha through the lens of time. The letter, written in elegant script, began to tell a story of love and loss. "My dearest child," it read, "I could not hold you in my arms or watch you grow, but I am with you in every breath you take. I am in the warmth of the sun and the whisper of the wind. And one day, if you ever find yourself standing on the Brooklyn Bridge, look up at the sky and know that your mother is watching over you, blessing you from above." Ayesha pressed the letter and the photograph to her chest, the fragile paper absorbing her tears. For the first time in her life, she cried not from a sense of emptiness, but from a profound feeling of connection. The hollow space in her heart began to fill with a warmth she had never known. It was as if, in that very moment, across the vast expanse of time and fate, her mother was standing right there beside her, her love finally reaching its destination. Thank you so much for joining me on this emotional journey today. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Your support means the world. Until next time, take care.